Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Let's go start now. WWE superstar Jey Uso recently took to social media to send an emotional message after Raw's big debut on Netflix. On the show, the OG Bloodline star secured a major win over Drew McIntyre. After feuding for weeks, Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre finally locked horns on the latest edition of The Red Show. Both stars put on an amazing display inside the squared circle. In the latter stages of the bout, it looked like the Scottish Warrior had the upper hand and was going to win. However, the contest ultimately ended in main event Jey's favor after he cheekily rolled up his opponent for a 3 count. Following his massive win, the Yeet Master took to Instagram to upload a video. In his post's caption, Jey sent an emotional message about his current popularity among fans, highlighting how hard he had worked for it. On a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo said that although everyone in the arena was always excited about Jey Uso's entrances, he was not a fan of watching it on television week after week. Many people believe Jey Uso will win a WWE World title in 2025. It will be interesting to see what the Triple A-led creative team has planned for the Yeet Master's future. Following WWE Raw, Jey Uso delivered an emotional message reflecting on his journey with the company, the trials he's faced, and his family's legacy. With tensions rising in the Bloodline storyline, his heartfelt words gave fans a rare glimpse into his vulnerability and the complex emotions behind his decision-making. Jey began by addressing his fans, acknowledging the overwhelming support he had received throughout his career and the recent storyline twists. "I've been through a lot, more than you all probably realize," Jey said, his voice trembling slightly. "When you're part of a family like mine, the expectations are high, the pressure is constant. But I've always done my best to represent, not just for myself, but for my bloodline." The Uso family has long been one of the most storied factions in wrestling, with Jey and his brother Jimmy Uso carrying on the legacy of their father, Rikishi, and their famous cousins, Roman Reigns and the Anoa'i family. But in recent months, Jey's relationship with Roman has been tested, especially as his loyalty to the bloodline has come into question. "It wasn't always easy to walk that line," Jey continued. "Being part of the bloodline, I thought I was doing what was right, what I was supposed to do. But the more I stood with Roman, the more I had to question myself. Was I really standing up for what's best for my family, or just for what Roman wanted?" Jey's message also touched on the personal sacrifices he made, including the toll his storyline with Roman Reigns had taken on his mental health. "This business, this life, it's not just about what you do in the ring. It's about the weight you carry with you every day. And for a long time, I felt like I was losing myself," he confessed. He also spoke about the personal growth he had experienced throughout his career. "I've learned a lot about myself through all of this," he said, his eyes filled with emotion. "I've learned that I don't need to prove myself to anyone. Not to Roman, not to the fans, and definitely not to the world. I've been trying to find out who I am without the bloodline defining me. And I think that's the most important journey of all." Jey closed his message by reaffirming his commitment to his brother Jimmy, whom he has always considered his closest ally. "I'm doing this for us, for our future, and for our family. No matter what happens, I'll always have Jimmy by my side, and that's all that matters. I may have been lost for a while, but I'm finding my way back, and I won't stop until I do." His words resonated deeply with fans, many of whom have been invested in the long-running Bloodline saga. Jey's emotional message on Raw served as a pivotal moment in his storyline, signaling that his character might be ready to step out from Roman Reigns' shadow and forge a new path forward, both personally and professionally. As the saga of the bloodline continues to unfold, Jey Uso's heartfelt expression highlighted the personal and emotional stakes of this iconic wrestling family drama, keeping fans eagerly anticipating the next chapter. Jey Uso's message following WWE Raw continued to reverberate throughout the wrestling world as fans, fellow superstars, and industry insiders reflected on his heartfelt words. It wasn't just the emotional weight of his speech that made it so powerful. It was also the sense of finality and self-empowerment he conveyed. G's shift from being Roman Reigns' right-hand man to someone questioning his loyalty and identity within the bloodline was a significant character arc that had been building for months. He elaborated more on the internal conflict he faced during his time as part of the bloodline. When you're raised to honor family above all else, it becomes your whole world, Jade explained, his voice still laden with emotion. But sometimes you lose sight of who you are. You think you're doing the right thing, but in the end, you're just following orders, following someone else's path instead of your own. That's what I've been doing for a long time. The depth of Jay's inner turmoil was clear. He spoke about the sacrifices he made, not just professionally but personally. I missed birthdays, holidays. Hell, I missed out on moments with my own kids. I put my life on hold for the bloodline, he said. I did it for the family. I did it because Roman said it was for the family. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. Many fans have witnessed G's transformation over the past few years. Initially, he was portrayed as a loyal soldier, carrying out Roman's wishes without question, even when it meant hurting people close to him. The most notable moment of this blind loyalty came when G was forced to face his own brother, Jimmy Uso, in a match where he was left with a choice: submit to Roman or risk being exiled from the family. G's choice to align with Roman Reigns solidified his place in the bloodline, but it also planted the seeds of doubt that would later blossom into this emotional reckoning. As Jay spoke, he reflected on his earlier days with Roman, when they were closer, working as a team and supporting each other. There was a time when it was just me and Roman, working together, building something big. I believed in that. I thought we were brothers, Jay admitted. But somewhere along the way, that bond started to change. It wasn't about us anymore. It was about Roman's empire. And that empire started crushing me. His message to Roman Reigns, while not directly confrontational, was clear. Roman, you know I love you like a brother. I respect you. But I can't keep living under your shadow. I can't keep following orders without questioning what's best for me and my family. I gotta stand up for myself now. It was in this moment that Jay's true strength shone through. The use of the word family carried an immense amount of weight. While the bloodline was initially about unity and support, Jay's message revealed a much deeper, more personal longing to redefine what family meant to him. For Jay, family was no longer just about allegiance to a shared name or title. It was about standing for something more meaningful: self-respect, autonomy, and the freedom to carve his own path. Jay also acknowledged the role of his brother Jimmy in his decision to speak out. Jimmy and I have always had each other's backs. He's been there for me through thick and thin. That's my blood, my partner in everything. And if there's anyone who understands the struggle I'm going through, it's him. This shift in Jay's perspective appeared to be fueled by a desire to finally free himself from Roman's manipulation. Throughout his time in the bloodline, Jay had been caught between his loyalty to his family and his desire for independence. But now, it seemed like he was ready to walk his own path, whether that meant taking down Roman Reigns, breaking away from the bloodline, or forging a new identity for himself and Jimmy as a tag team. I'm not just an Uso anymore, G said, his voice firm and resolute. I'm G Uso, and I have my own destiny to create. Roman, you've done a lot for me, but it's time to stand on my own 2 feet. No more being your lackey. No more being your second in command. From here on out, it's all about me and my future. For many fans, Jay's emotional speech was a defining moment in his career. It marked not only the evolution of his character, but also a potential turning point in the overarching bloodline saga. The implications of Jay's decision could be far-reaching, affecting not just his own storyline, but also the dynamics of the bloodline, which has been the central focus of WWE for the past few years. In the weeks that followed, WWE fans eagerly awaited the fallout from Jay's emotional declaration. Would Roman Reigns confront his cousin about his defection? Would G and Jimmy team up to challenge Roman? Or would G venture out on his own, finally breaking free from the weight of the bloodline? And perhaps most importantly, would G Uso find the redemption and self-empowerment he so desperately sought? As Raw concluded, It was clear that Jay's journey had only just begun. His words echoed throughout the WWE universe, leaving fans on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating the next chapter in the Uso family drama.